For those of us over here in the US, we're going into Sabbath. For those on the other side of the world, some of you are just about to finish it. So, whatever it may be, whether it's the beginning or the end, we hope that you had a great one, um, or that you'll have a great one. So, there's a lot going on right now, and it's wild because I don't know why. Um, what is it about me? What's going on?
My
Do you hear
phone. I don't know
that?
why. What?
I hear ads.
You hear what?
I'm listening to ads right now.
Really?
Yeah. The ads that apparently are playing during this broadcast, I hear them.
You hear them? I
Yes,
don't
right.
hear them. That's crazy. That's crazy. Wow.
Now I hear the echo. Now my voice is echoing back. How about, yeah. And it was not like that when you first started.
I don't hear anything.
There it is. I'm actually hearing the replay. So how about this? How about I leave and come back?
You're gonna leave and come back. Go ahead.
Yeah, I am. I think I don't have a choice. Apparently, they're playing with me today.
All right, y'all. What's going on, everybody? What's up? I see Ken Zen in the building. Akshaya, the quiet one. What's going on Twitter? Yeah, I guess a bunch of people done got upset. What they talking about? So now something happened on Twitter with Nikki. What is up? Yeah, oh man, yeah, hold on one second. It's there's a whole lot going on in the world, man. Nikki has a new law firm. Okay. And the North Star Us Weekly pointed out that who pointed that out, who she was with from whatever reason. No one's happy. She's got a bigger firm. What are they talking about? Okay, so what? Nikki wins key legal victory after false online claim. Is that what's going on? All right. I still hear something in the background. I don't know if that's you or not. The Source magazine? Oh, source.com.
I haven't said anything.
Okay, I hear you now. Somebody just dropped something on Twitter that I saw since we're talking about, well, who we're talking about. Well, we're mainly going to talk about Jennifer Huff or Jennifer Ho, whatever her Huff.
Huh.
Yeah. But I just happened to see this post. Nikki has secured an important legal win in an ongoing defamation case, despite widespread false claims circulating online that she was facing new legal trouble. Many media outlets quoted U.S. Weekly, which claimed her longtime lawyer Bernstein had dropped her and left her to face a $10 million legal storm solo. The narrative was false, painting Nicki Minaj problematic and suggesting her career was at risk. Okay, I gotta listen, or I gotta read the rest of this. The source.com. I guess people are um what is this? She has a liable, is that liable slander and a personal injury assault case. Oh, this is the one that they
Overseas.
were trying to use to get her house. Oh, okay, okay. Not to be bringing up her stuff like that, but I don't know. I don't know. It sounds better.
Yeah, I don't hear any echo, so that's a good thing.
All right, good.
Know what that was all about, but it was that happens from time to time. You know, I think people really don't understand me. Some days I think that my message is clear and that I'm really reaching people, and then some days it's like it's the and it's frustrating because I think I'm pretty transparent and I think I'm pretty open. But before we get started, should we say hello to everyone here?
Go ahead. I kind of said hi to a few. I didn't say
Oh,
hi to everybody.
hey, Never Your Angel,
Yeah,
Elisa. So I'm assuming you got to speak to everybody here early, early, early. We got
yeah.
came in a new member, Kamisi Fox. Welcome. Hey, Margie, Pat Blair. Oh, Kenzen is in the building. Ah, Akshaya. Okay. We have J.R. Mellon. Okay. So yeah, there's a lot. Taurus, Barbara, and thank you. So I don't know, where do we start this? How do we start today? What I will say is let's make sure that we're liking the video as we come in or as we leave, either way. But we need to keep those likes up. We need to be able to make sure that we have engagement going. This is a members only chat, so that means that the only engagement happening on the channel is what's actually going on in the chat. We love all of our members. We appreciate all of you for being here, but let's not get away from the objective. The objective is to reach out there and to get the word out there. So, um, we're going to talk about all the things that people are talking about today.
Right, right.
And I don't think we need to go to the main event. I think we can take our time and we can get there. But oh, thank you. Thank you for the thank you. And like this year is my first year that I'm pretty much not going to be acknowledging holidays. I don't think I've discussed that with anyone publicly anyway. I mean, me and you, we talk, but this is my first year, and not because I'm becoming Jehovah's Witness. It's nothing to do with that. It's not a religious thing. It's an energy thing for me. I have been realizing there's a lot of stuff that goes on in this world. There's a lot of stuff, especially that goes on here in the United States. That's all based around emotion and predictive programming. And Set in the West, you just did a live recently talking about predictive programming and the dangers and the harms. Hey, and so for me, I'm trying to get myself to a point where I'm in control of my mind, where my mind isn't being influenced by what other people think or what other people feel. You know, different people wear different things. When it comes to earrings, I tend to wear earrings that either say something or lean to the spirit of what I'm feeling or how I'm feeling. And these days, it is definitely a middle finger to fear, because that's a lot of what's going on in our country right now. They're pushing a lot of fear of people, fear of institutions, fear of constructs, fear for your finances, fear for how you're feeding yourself, whether or not you're going to be able to eat. Am I wrong? There's a lot of fear being pushed out to the atmosphere these days. And I can't have that. And it's wild because Thanksgiving, Christmas time, like all of this time of the year, it was my favorite time when I was younger. And even when I became a young adult and I was a mom, I spent thousands on top of thousands of dollars for Christmas to create the perfect Christmas, to get my family all together and to do this and to do that. And my parents' anniversary, they got married on Thanksgiving. And even though their anniversary date, the day that they got married, I think it was like the 21st of November that year, um, we always just celebrated Thanksgiving. Whatever day Thanksgiving was when we celebrated my parents' anniversary. So this year it would have been their 50th anniversary.
Wow.
So for me, like that in itself, um, and now they're both gone. So, you know, you lock your feelings up into these emotions and into these things. And both of my parents are deceased. So it's, or at least they're considered deceased. I know my dad is deceased. I saw him die. I saw his body. I was there at the funeral, the whole 9 yards. I didn't have that with my mom. Um, so like I said, with both of them gone, what does that mean for that day for me now? You know what I mean? And I don't really engage with a lot of people anymore. Like my life it's gotten pretty small. And so what does it mean? What do the holidays mean for any of us? Like we haven't even hit Thanksgiving yet. And there's Christmas stuff everywhere. People, you gotta buy this, gotta buy that, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. Um, it's getting really interesting. Like literally, Halloween came and then boom, they started pumping the Christmas, pumping the Christmas, pumping the
Hmm.
Christmas. If you
Hmm.
most kids and you ask them what their favorite part of Christmas is, they're pretty much all gonna say, "Ooh, I get gifts." You know, so we're not really celebrating what it's supposed to be about, what it's supposed to be for. Thanksgiving is supposed to be to honor a massacre, because that's what it was. A bunch of people that weren't from here came over here, uh, ran afoul of the indigenous people, did whatever they want to do, and then we have this day to offer an olive branch. Oh, it's some kind of, I don't know. Am I making sense or do I sound like a hater? Do I sound
No,
crazy?
that's what it was. Come on.
So, there's a lot of confused narratives that are happening right now out here in the world, especially online. Like, I'm watching a lot of misinformation. I'm watching just a lot of lies being pushed. And for someone who has as many lies told on them as I've had told on me, it can be triggering. It can be because you're sitting there and you're like, this is BS. This is BS. You know it's BS. And yet people are pushing it. People are pumping it. Now, some people, they're paid to do it. Some people just get caught up into, I heard it from there and I heard it from there, so it must be true. So I'm going to repeat it as well. That's the tricky part of Derek's case because, it, and just to give you guys a little update, we're still moving forward. We're just changing the way we're doing it. And part of the reason why is, or should I let you explain a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, we're not. Well, you could say we're changing it, but not really. It's going to be expansive. It makes sense though for everything to be explained in a podcast because we have just hours upon hours of conversations with Derek. And the only way to really give it justice is to just lay it out in audio form. So it is good because we could actually, with podcasts, this could be season one. And we there's a bunch of other information that's coming out, and we could just drop, like, we could drop another season if we want next month. That's how we could do the podcast format. It just makes sense to do it that way, but there still will be the visual aspect. There are going to be videos that are going to be dedicated specifically for that case, because there are affidavits, there's court docs that need to be seen. So it's almost like, it's like an audio book with an extra extension of, like, hey, here's a QR code to go check out this document. It'll be like that. So it's not like it's changed up, in all honesty. It's better to expand it out this way. Audio podcasts. We'll give you guys the name soon, because you just got to be mindful and careful, because people are weird. But we'll get the
There's
name
a
of it
lot of
soon.
people invested in a lot of craziness when it comes to Derek. A lot of people invested in a lot of craziness. So, and when I said change, I wasn't saying like we're changing things for a negative or for a correction, but this has become a lot more expansive. And I was hoping that maybe we could just talk about that just a little bit. First things first, Derek is a human being. And he is a human being that has been through a crazy ride for the past 28 years. I think people tend to forget that. Whether or not you believe he is innocent or guilty, it really doesn't matter. What does matter is that there is something wrong. And as we went forward, and don't get me wrong, I'm inclined to believe more of what he tells me than not the other way. When we first started really looking into it, we saw the documents, and then we're like, okay, we got to go digging. We got to go digging. We got to get to the bottom of this, because when you have the kind of campaign working to silence a person the way that they've had on Derek for as long as they've had it on him, these people have gone out of their way to try to make their story hold. Now, the reason why I can call it a story is just because I'm looking at the nature of it all, the way it's happening, the way it happened, what's going on, what's not there, what's not obvious, what's real, what's not real. Um, but that's why I think for us this has just been particularly interesting, because to read the document, the court sealed document that came from the clerk's office, a lot of the narratives that were created around Derek's story happened before those documents were made available with seal on it. Because, see, that seal is an authentication of what it is. Now, there have been so many different things attached to the story, the affidavits, the witnesses, the victims. There's witnesses on both
And
sides.
there's a lot of backstory just when you're dealing with each affidavit, each all that. Derek says one thing, we get presented with other stuff. It's more of a it's really truly an investigative, uh, journalistic story. Like, that's pretty much how I really could point it and say it, right? I
We
mean,
would not be doing it justice to just rush. We wouldn't. We need to really look at everything, and there are receipts that have to be verified. Um, and it's wild because we could sit there and we could go back and forth with what's already there. That's not the monkey wrench. The monkey wrench is all of the stuff that we're getting now and the stuff that's coming in that's new.
Yeah.
And that we do
There's
not want
visuals,
mistaken.
and not to cut you off, there's visuals that y'all definitely have to see. In fact, majority of it is you have to see it. So there will be videos available that you guys will see what we're talking about. But then it's like, hey, go, and then the pods will be on the YouTube as well, but primarily Patreon, the podcast, the whole series. Like, we'll be dropping it like that. And I want to open it up to where if any of you guys have any questions, we do a live and y'all call up. Y'all could be a part of the podcast too, for real.
Well, I mean, I'm hoping that people have questions because people should have questions about this entire situation. This entire situation is questionable. Um, always rounds. There are things to ask questions about. Now, when it comes to the victims or the alleged victims, they're victims on paper. They're victims on court record, but there are allegations that state that they're not. So, like for me, one of the biggest questions that I had is if they had all of these facts, if they had all of this proof, why did none of it ever go to court? None of it went to court. It was just charges were presented, no contest, years. Like that was literally how it went. And it's just there's a lot. There's a lot there. So we're and we're waiting on some more receipts because there's more coming in. It seems like it never stops. But I want people to really understand that if Derek's story is absolutely 100% correct and true, there is an entire network of people that have been working for decades to make sure that his truth never sees the light of day, that it stays buried, that it stays out of the reach. And it's crazy because it's like it's in plain sight. Like a lot of this stuff was done in plain sight, which is why when we first started going into this story, we started with the recent documents. We didn't go back into the old documents. We started with the recent documents because now the recent documents give us a reason to re examine all of the prior documents and look at them for what they are.
Right.
It's not easy. This is not an easy thing by any means. Derek is still on restriction, so we can't talk to him right now. And he's going to be on restriction for what, about another month? So
It's another month.
it's another month, and a lot can happen in a month, especially when you have the criminal justice system involved. A lot can happen. We're not sure what's going on. But the biggest question that I have right now is how in God's name did he sit with these other bloggers, podcasters for all of that time? And he talked to them, he shared his information with them, all of that. He never had any issues. They didn't take away they didn't restrict him in any way. They didn't take his phone privileges away. They didn't move him to another jail. They didn't do any of that. Like he was on the phone talking to another podcaster for months on top of months on top of months.
And nothing happened.
Nothing happened. Nothing happened at all. He was fine. He was okay. Even through the lawsuit with Diddy, even through all of that, nothing was shut down. But the second that he starts talking with us and the second that we start sharing it with the public, they just they cut his water off in the yard. They started having hearings. Yeah.
Never Your Angel was asking how did Derek become one of the 10 investors. So you know what I did? Of course, one part of it is on your members.
Hmm.
The part two, that the little extended version, it's available on the Patreon. I'm gonna leave it there for the time being because there's still some stuff that I want to, but I may that may change up. But if you want, go to the Patreon and check it out because I think that's pretty thorough. But that might come down, and you already know we're going to change some stuff up simply
Well, there's
because
yeah, there are other details that like this thing it never stops. But the one thing that I will say is really wild is that there's testimony that was given to a podcaster by someone who we know is not a victim, who was posed, who was, I won't say posed as a victim, but they had it set up to make it
yeah,
look like
yeah,
this person
yeah,
was a victim.
yeah.
And once we heard that, it was breaks. We need to get to the bottom of this. We need to get to the bottom of this. Like literally, there was supposed to be this interview with one of the great survivors, who Derek was convicted for essaying her. Um, there was an affidavit, and allegedly, this victim was supposed to have spoke with someone, done an interview with someone regarding that whole situation. And it was wild because we heard it, we listened to it, and it's funny because Odell recognized it right away. I wasn't sure, but there was another person that was involved who we let listen to it as well. And we all
Well,
know who
see,
that person is, and it's not the victim.
that's why I said it's better to do it as a pod. Because see, the thing is there's a lot of explanation that needs to go on with a lot of the context, and it's better for us to do it that way. That's really, yeah. But it's crazy. The story is crazy. It's but like we said, who all the people that are involved though, oh man.
My thing
Man,
is
man, man.
how do you put up content, a podcast series with a fake survivor? Because, like I said, we recognized who that person was. We spoke with that person, and that person told us that these particular bloggers, podcasters, whatever you want to call them, intentionally misled the public and used her voice to pose.
And we got
Because
to break all that down.
we have to break all of that
We got to
down.
break it.
And it's
It got to
wild
be broken all the way down.
because the podcasters that did that, if what we're seeing is what we're seeing, that means they intentionally went to frame Derek as a fraud intentionally.
Yeah,
And it's crazy because they released this just a couple of weeks before Diddy got sentenced.
yeah.
But it was also right before those sealed documents that came from the clerk's office had. See, they did this first, and we're not calling out any names yet. We're not, that's why we have to be very careful with what we're doing because the truth is, if we're absolutely right about everything that we see going on, these podcasters should be sued for defamation and slander and
Yeah,
fraud because
yeah.
that means that they took an entire monetized podcast series and intentionally presented false evidence and false witnesses to the public for monetary gain. Does anybody hear what I'm saying? Because like that's what's So yeah, we're just trying to be extremely careful because doing this, it's gonna bust that whole thing out. There's no way that it's not. But we need to make sure, without a shadow of a doubt, that we're right. We're not trying to create any lawsuits or be liable for slander or defamation in any way.
Right. Exactly.
There's enough people trying to convince people of all kinds of things. Fraud by deception, yeah, fraud by deception. But we have to look into that. So that's
Yeah.
when we stumbled into that part of it, we're like, okay, we need to slow this down a little bit and we need to make sure that we're sure about everything. But this is kind of it's kind of freaky. It's kind of weird. And I mean the way that they had it framed, it made it seem like they didn't believe or maybe it's not, but they went forward with it and they put it out there to make it look like Derek intentionally offered a fake survivor, a fake witness. So if that's fake, then the affidavit must be fake, right?
Right.
And just even listening to the way a lot of that content was put out there, it was all done to make Derek look extremely bad. Like there was it was it was a very clever hit piece is what I will say. There was a fake fiance,
Oh man. Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. And we just need to be able to make sure that we can, without a shadow of a doubt, show everyone this. Because the truth is, if Derek is so guilty, why do they need to bring people now to frame him all over again?
Yeah. Don't make sense.
It doesn't make any sense. If he's guilty and everything that he was convicted of is on point, if everything that he was convicted of is right and exact and fair, why would you need to create this farce? Why would you need to do that? If it's right and exact, then it's right and exact. So, kind of, it's like this, for instance. Let's just use me for example. There's a lot of people that have a lot of things to say about me. There's a lot of people that try to make me out to be this, say that I'm a liar, say that I'm this, say that I'm that. They have no evidence. They just keep saying it. Now, we have actually found doctored evidence. We've actually discovered doctored videos. We've been able to point out AI manipulation. We've been able to do all of that. And guess what? Nobody has to explain it. They just triple down on it and say, oh no, she's a liar. She lied. We caught
Mhm.
her in a lie. Like it's really crazy because I literally just heard someone the other day make up a whole story that I said that Sean Carter had a knife to my neck and was doing things to me. And I never said that. Not even that fake AI video said that. But considering that this was the person who passed it on a media takeout and tried to push it, and then it went to TMZ, I can understand why they would need to doctor it up and to try to make a story. But that's what we're dealing with right now. Like, there's someone that Odell knows that's a very credible content creator that was talking about Rymir losing his paternity suit. Now, we all know that that's not true. We all know that
But
that's
when they play internet telephone, right? And
over and
and
over
and
and over again.
when you're not really, no offense, but when you're not really knowing too much about the story, but after a while this echo chamber become, and That's what they're doing. He's trying that person I'm talking about, not my people, but the other person is trying to create this echo chamber. And that's where we're going to get the legal aspect together because they're doing too much. Don't say something that isn't true and then you put it out there on your platform. You got 80K people plus looking at your stuff and then it becomes this. Yeah, legally we're gonna, we're gonna go, we're gonna pull up on that. That's what's gonna happen. But that's what people do. Even with the Rainier situation, that's not 100% true, but that what was put out there is partially true. It ain't all the way true.
And it was clarified by Lily Coley, Ramir's godmother. But see, her channel has less than 20,000 subscribers, I do believe. So, and it seems like it's being stifled. Her content is being stifled. Like you have to make sure your notifications on to get a notification when she's going live. You have to be able to do all of that. But the people that are talking about what's actually happening in her life, all of them have platforms of several hundred thousand subscribers and more. That's part of the reason why we've been fighting so hard to just keep building this channel and growing this channel and building this channel and growing this channel because our, congrats, we made it to 100K and that's great. But if my channel is at 100K and the person that's lying on me is sitting at 1.5 million,
Who's gonna get the, you know,
who's going to get the most coverage? And if their story travels out much, much, much faster, then that puts us on defense or cleanup. And to have to go back and to explain why this isn't true, what this is, what this isn't. So, we have to be very careful. But that's a lot of what we're seeing going on, or what we believe has been going on with Derek's case. It's just a lot of misinformation. If they were doing the same thing with Demore's case. Now, Demore's case, it was what makes her story so incredible is that the investigative team and her attorney, they did a phenomenal job buttoning up every claim, buttoning up every detail, which is what made doing her series so fluid for us.
it was so, I ain't gonna say so easy because it wasn't easy, but it wasn't difficult. And we were able to push it out quick because of how thorough the team was.
Well, the information was pristine. And even in the midst of all of that, with all of that going on, her story got stifled. There were still people sharing stories saying that Javon was an abuser,
Yeah.
that he was doing this, saying that Demore was mentally ill, and that her mother didn't have a choice. And what we ended up finding out is that there was a whole nother shadow team on the internet that was spreading that
Already
information
already working. They were already working
from the time that the law, before the lawsuit hit,
before. Yeah.
they were already working. Welcome to Juana
It's
Houston.
Tawana. Appreciate you.
So this is how these people work. And it's kind of crazy because there's a lot of people that might be confused about some of what's going on right now with some of the content that I've released, with some of my opinions. And we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. But I need people to understand this. I don't have to like everybody, and everybody doesn't have to like me. I don't have to like everybody's opinion, and everybody doesn't have to like my opinion, but everyone is entitled to their opinion. Everyone, no matter who it is. And that's what's so funny because when it comes to me, it seems as though I'm held at a much higher standard or held more accountable than your average person online. People get to say whatever they want to say, not me. If I say it, oh my goodness, it's the end of the world. If I say it, oh my goodness, it's crazy, right? And we'll get to that because today we're dedicating it to talk about all of the things that people aren't talking about. So, where do you want to start?
You tell me. We could if you want to go ahead and tackle the because we can walk our way up to the the elephant in the room. Um or we can just start off with, you know, there's a couple of things. And I wanted to add to the doc. We said we would speak on Tory Lane's
We need to talk
the
about
miss,
that because
yeah.
nobody's talking about that.
And no one's talking about Antonio Brown being released for attempted unalivement as well. I wanted to add that. So it's like, do you want to start out maybe on a light note, then walk our way to all that, or what's up?
Yeah, we could start and move it.
Well, let's do this first.
What?
Check this out, y'all. There's this movie. How many of y'all have seen this? How many of y'all have seen this poster around town? I don't know. You want to get at this real quick?
I mean, we can talk about it if you want.
Or do you want to wait? That's why I
No,
said,
let's
do you
start
want to?
here. Let's start here and let's get because this is a mess.
How many have y'all seen this movie?
It's a
How many
brilliant
of
mess, but it's
y'all
a mess.
have? How many of y'all have seen this poster and maybe were confused about what this movie is about? This movie is called Begonia, and it stars Emma Stone
Hmm.
and this one actor named Jesse Plemons. Jesse Plemons gets a lot of hate online. They call him not Matt Damon because he looks like Matt Damon, but he's not Matt Damon. Or they call him Meth Damon. I said, give this guy his props. This dude is a phenomenal actor. I saw him in the Netflix series Black Mirror a couple of times. This
Yeah,
dude
I can't do
is
Black Mirror.
nice. Black Mirror, his episodes, where he was in Black Mirror, he's been in a bunch of stuff. But like if I hate you in real life because of your, like just like I saw, what's his name, Jay Ellis. He played Lawrence on Insecure. He's like, oh man, I got all these black women coming up to me. I hate you, Lawrence. And I'm like, my name is Jay Ellis. Like, just like Danny Glover in Color Purple. Like he had people hating him in real life because of a
Yeah,
character. That means you did a great job as an actor. Um,
people
but
looked at
back to
Lawrence
Bagon.
Fishburne sideways because of what's love got to do with
Oh
it.
yeah. Oh man. They thought he really was Ike. But back to Jesse Plemons. And I'm not gonna spoil this movie, y'all. I really don't want to, but I want y'all to go see it, and then I want to do like a members only live and talk about it. Because, man, this movie, yeah, Black Mirror. Jesse Plemons did a great job. It's Emma Stone, and they actually hired a another actor. He played like the he played basically Jesse Plemons' character's cousin.
And he was
Uh,
autistic, but
he's on the spectrum.
they actually hired
Aiden
someone. Yeah.
Delbis, that's his name. And I was like, oh man, was like, this is a really, is this really an autistic person or is he acting? And they're, no, it's like he's really on the spectrum. I was like, well, bravo to that or for that production company for hiring that actor. And he did an excellent job too.
He did an
Excellent
excellent
job.
job, and it was
Excellent
heartbreaking.
job.
Yeah, but he had a heartbreaking role
Very,
for me. He had a heartbreaking
very,
role for me.
very.
Like, I watched
So
it,
this
and I'm
movie,
not gonna lie, it freaked me out. I did not sleep well that night. I ended up on a
well,
spaceship.
well, Melissa, all I would really say is go check out the movie. Um, and
Okay.
the
Well, this
movie
is the thing.
is
You can't do all of that talking and not give anybody anything because people are asking. So now here you can. So
well, I'm not gonna see. The thing is you
can we
really shouldn't
spell the
even
name
have
of the
any.
movie? The title of the movie is
No,
Bogoni.
BUG.
I'm
It's
sorry,
BUG.
Bugonia. Bugonia.
Yeah, like a bug, Bugonia. Like y'all can see, it's in theaters. It's in theaters. It's not streaming, but it's worth. If you got a husband, if you got a wife, you got a don't take your eaters or your situationships. Um, take this movie.
Where are you
you
today? You are
you know
on
I
one.
I'm clowning. You know I got to be clowning. Yeah, like begonia, but it's a bug, and I really don't want to. I
It's a
want to tease it,
bug.
but I don't. Yeah, like bug because of the bees in the trailer in this poster. You see it's blood and honey, and you guys will figure it out later. But this movie, like I don't want to kill it because you really
You're
should go
not,
into this
listen
movie.
to me. You're killing me right now.
But you should go into this movie and not really. I say don't expect anything, Jack. What did I tell you when I said let's watch this? Did I give you any kind of? I just said watch it, and your expectations were like what? Tell me what your expectations were.
The second that I saw the way it was being shot and what was going on, I already knew. What I'm going to say about the film is there are moments in the film that will remind you of the movie Fargo, for any of you who've ever seen Fargo. There are moments in the film that might also remind you of like even a little Big Lebowski-ish.
Okay,
Um and there was, what's the other movie that I said it kind of it
misery.
yes, Misery. Like, if you could take the Big Lebowski, Fargo, and Misery and put them all into one film, that would be this. That would be Begonia.
So the
It
reason
was
why
very
they,
smart. It was
yeah,
very
go ahead.
smart. Um, it was slightly triggering in a lot of ways. Like I said, it. The funny thing about it is, for everything that I might complain about when it comes to this movie, I can also praise it for. Like, when I look at it now, once I saw it I'm sorry, in totality, brilliant acting. Like, really,
Man,
really, really
really good
brilliant
acting.
acting
Really
from
good.
everyone on the cast. But it's
Yeah.
designed to trigger you. It is.
Oh yeah.
Welcome, Kurt.
Yeah.
It's designed to trigger you. So I will say, trigger warning on this whole film. Emma Stone did a fantastic job.
Oh, Emma Stone is.
She did a
I was like, yo,
fantastic job. A fantastic
yeah,
job. And
yeah.
it will have you questioning what you're seeing and what you're comprehending damn near the entire movie. It will. It's a mind screw, for lack of a better word. And I think that's why we would probably not talk about this openly on YouTube, because it's
Oh yeah, of course not.
the conversation is not the kind of conversation you can have on this platform. It's just not. It's not, because it's questioning how we look at life. It's questioning what we see as real. It's questioning how we internalize and how we deal with trauma. And it's questioning everything that you believe in. Like it's deep, it's heavy,
Yeah.
and it still has moments of lightheartedness, but it's really, really, really heavy.
It's labeled a comedy, but it has to be a comedy sci-fi. But you have to put the comedic twist on it in order for you to like it's crazy. But definitely check it out. Like the director is what is it, Yorgos
I'm telling you right
Thamos.
now,
He's a Greek director. He did Poor Things.
know
Go
why
ahead. What
they
are you
were
gonna tell him?
allowed to label that a comedy. If they were going to put
Yeah,
comedy on it, they should put dark comedy.
very dark.
It's extremely dark comedy. Like it's black pill
Oh
dark.
yeah, and I love it. I love it because yeah. But look, Jag, did the movie hit you more on an emotional or intellectual level? Which one?
Like I said, I think it's equally both.
Okay.
I think
If
it's
you could
equally both.
if you could describe the film in one word or feeling, what would it be?
Hmm. One word or one emotion?
Yep.
Vulnerable.
Oh wow. Okay. So real quick.
Say vulnerable. It will make you feel vulnerable. Well, at least it did that for me. If I had to describe it in one word, mm, let me come back to that.
Yeah,
I'll think.
if y'all can really watch it, if y'all could watch it, and whoever, if we can get enough people to watch it, I'm down to do a members only live, and we can talk about it because there's a lot. Like you said, we'll come back to that what you just said. But like I said, we're not spoiling anything. I just wanted to ask you a few questions because when people watch it, then they'll come back to this and they'll, oh, but yeah, this is because of the film like wrestles with nature, technology, humanity's place in between. Like that's what the film kind of does. But what do you think it's really saying about evolution?
It's
See, I'm
inevitable.
asking you a question. I'm not, and
It's
yeah, I'm
inevitable.
not trying to spoil it. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
inevitable. Evolution is inevitable, and no matter how great. Oh, Reese, this movie we're talking about, Bugonia, with Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons. It is.
Yep, that's him.
Yeah. It's yeah, yeah. It's inevitable.
Um, some of the imagery feels like almost biblical. Did any particular symbol stick out with you afterwards? I know we probably got to watch it again, but
Yeah, I would say we have to watch it again. I think me watching it again, it would help me have a better way of articulating it, because the truth is, even just sitting here thinking about it right now, there's certain things that's triggering me
yeah.
when I think back to it, like that cop.
Oh, ooh, yeah,
That cop. Like, and when I
yeah.
think about everything that, we're talking about, we're researching, we're journalizing, all of the stuff that we're doing in real life. That cop is
That
a
cop,
problem,
yeah.
baby.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The cop in it
Mm-hmm.
is a huge problem for me because it really speaks to, a lot of the stuff that we got going on right now. Like for me to think about what's going on with Derek and some of the stuff that Derek has shared with us. Um, and thinking about that cop.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of that
It's
cop, no, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no good.
No, 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 because I was, yeah, I didn't want to stick too long to this because we're gonna get into the other stuff, but I
Mhm.
wanted to definitely just make this a good, segment as far as your ideas on this film because you did speak on the cop, and I was gonna just ask, you know, what did you think of the film?
It's probably one
Asking
of
us
the
to,
best films that have come out in the past 5 years. That I will say.
okay, no, I wasn't done. I was gonna say because we talk about the cop. There's a moral line. The characters are constantly approaching. Think about all that, right? So, what do you think of the film is asking us to choose sides? You get what I'm saying?
I think the film is begging us to stop being vulnerable and to use our eyes. I think the film is saying that there's so much that happens right in front of us every day and we ignore it. We
Now,
don't
did
pay
you feel
attention.
empathy for the main character, or do you think the film, like, you thought it
I mean,
deliberately kept you like from feeling empathy for him?
you can feel empathy for him, but I don't know. Actually, no, I can't say empathy, sympathy.
Yeah, there you go.
I felt
Yeah,
sympathy for him because to
yeah.
empathize with someone is to be able to understand their feelings and emotions. And yeah, no, no. Definitely, you can definitely sympathize with the main character. I think the problem with the main character is that he's he's being used to test humanity,
Yeah.
especially in this social climate. Um,
Hmm.
that's how I saw it. Because the truth is, he he has the most interesting story.
Yeah. Yeah.
His story,
See,
the backstory of him, what
yeah.
it came
Yeah.
to, the choices it led him to make.
Yep.
Very interesting story. So yeah, that's enough of that. Let's not talk too much about it. But yeah, no.
No, 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 I know. And no, listen, and the reason why I was asking the questions the way I was asking them, it's a reason why. And not to, because yeah, we don't want to, but peep game, because this film, it's almost like your album, you mentioned your album was recorded on 2-inch reel. For those who
Yeah.
don't know, that's the old school way of the Ampex. What was it? What'd you have? An Ampex 4 or 5? Which one was it? I don't know. Depending on, like, old studio heads know when you're dealing with sound, when you're dealing with analog, you're gonna get a real rich sound when you record on
Mhm.
a 2-inch reel.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I come from the movie era right before it became digital. So I worked at
Mhm.
a movie theater, and they did everything. This I remember having to wait, certain times at night, and all, the movie theaters, I mean the theater company, I mean the production companies would bring these big old uh crates of film, like, and then the projectionist, shout out to Jim, I don't know where he's at, my boy Jim, he was the projectionist. He'd come and he would put the film together, and he would do that for all the theaters, right? And it
Mhm.
was physical. It was a physical labor, and he was like, yeah, man. Oh, man. Well, look, I need you to, I'm the manager. I don't know nothing about the film. He's a projection. He do his job. He's like, well, yeah, I need you to put this trailer in the front. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Because if you do it wrong, the trailer will play backwards. It was crazy,
Yeah.
right? You
Yeah.
can't. You got to know what you're doing when you're dealing with film,
Film. Yeah.
physical film. Just like your album. Now, if y'all don't know, Jag said her album was
My
recorded
first
on
album.
a
Yeah.
first album recorded on a analog
Two
tape.
inch. Yeah. 2 inch tape,
And
which
that is
is.
so dope because of the weight of the sound, the way everything is going to sound. This movie was recorded on 35 millimeter film, which
Mhm.
is crazy when you think about it. If you could easily do stuff digitally, no problem. But they had these big old reels of, and they were filming it on that. So it looks phenomenal. And I'm
It's
just gonna ask
it's gritty
yeah,
and
exactly.
it's visceral.
The the cinematography question, because the
Yeah.
cinematography had a distinct tone. It was
Mhm.
sterile in some parts, lush in others. Now, how did the visual effect, uh, or how did the visual language affect your interpretation? And I know, you
It
know,
forced my mind to stay engaged with what I was seeing. Like, a lot of these movies that we're seeing now, it's easy to turn away. It's so easy
hmm
to turn away because the images, they're just they're fleeting. Like digital image, it does not feel the same way as tape.
exactly, exactly,
It doesn't. For whatever reason, the way it all comes out, the way it looks, it forces you to stay engaged. It's hard for you to turn away. Like
yeah,
you're locked in, you become committed to it. So
right.
yeah.
Yeah, y'all. Look, I don't want to. I, I literally, I want y'all to see this, and when y'all seen it enough, because I'm gonna clip this and turn this into a standalone. But I want y'all to comment on, if y'all saw it, because I think we should do a members only live just about that, and I want to get y'all take on it. It's crazy. I was thinking about like prequels or sequels. I mean, well, I don't know about a sequel. What do you think of the ending? You ain't got it. The ending is gonna fuck y'all up. That's all I'm gonna say. What do you think of the ending?
I ain't got nothing to say about the ending. Don't nobody want to hear my opinion about the ending. Nobody. Um, but if I had to say something about it, I would say, mm, I'm really trying to guard my words on this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Even if you just give me one word of how you feel about the ending, that's it. And again, you ain't got to. We know what's up. Just
WTF?
yeah, yeah.
That's the only way to describe the ending of that film. WTF?
If y'all ain't doing nothing
That's
this
it.
weekend, if y'all ain't
Yeah,
doing
go
nothing this
check out
weekend,
the
I would say check it out. And then next week, maybe Monday, we could all do a
if
members
you
only
have an
live.
if you have an issue with gore, be advised.
Well,
It's
and
real.
see, even the gore on there is kind of like exaggerated. You got to really, think about it. I mean, it was crazy, but that one scene, yeah, yeah. I want everybody to go check it out because we got to do a members
Like
only live.
it was kind of like how it was approached kind of like how Quentin Tarantino approached uh gore in the Kill Bill sagas, like especially in the first one. It was along those lines.
Yeah, yeah.
Pat
Okay.
Flair said, I ain't watching it. Look, that's why I'm telling you now, sweetie. If gore is not your thing, then I would think twice. I would
Yeah,
think twice because the truth is it's just visceral and it's spellbinding and it's captivating and those images will stick with you.
yeah,
Like they will stick with you. So I just wanted to put that out there. Trigger warning.
yeah.
Yeah, that's real. So
All right.
we
Enough of
got that.
that.
We got
Yeah.
that out of the way.
But I
But
want people to. I
Odell
want
wanted
y'all
to
to.
Odell wanted to share that with everyone, and I'm like, you know what? Let's talk about that because you know what? No one's talking about that film. Nobody.
I
People are
don't think it's.
spending more time talking about that all is fair business with Kim Kardashian than they
Yeah.
were talking about this very relevant film.
And it's art.
So
It's not just, I mean, it's a film, of course, but it's art. It's just like you drop an album, Jag, you don't just drop no freaking album randomly. It's going to be a piece of art. I already know that. And that's the same thing with this project. This film is just art. It's like, forget about it. Yeah, it was a Korean movie from 2003. It was called
mhm.
Save the Green Planet. This reminds me of They Live.
Yeah.
If if y'all this movie reminds me of They Live.
There's nuances. There's definitely nuances that straddle between the two. But that's the other thing that a lot of people also don't know, that it is a remake.
Yeah.
So
Non-Jen, no, you're right. But look, I'm telling you, and that's exactly why we should watch this. And you should watch it. And I mean, yeah, there's certain stuff, but nah, you should watch it if you, yeah, if you're on that type of time where you're saying, we have to be careful what we put our eyes and ears on. Yeah.
which is all
But
the more reason why you should probably watch this movie if you feel
yeah.
this way, because it's begging that question about a lot of things.
Hmm. Yep.
Um, it's funny that that movie, there's a lot of conversation that's happening in the conversation of the movie in itself, adjacent to what's actually happening in the movie. That movie is forcing you to ask yourself questions.
Yeah.
It's forcing you to ask your psyche where it really lands. And it's also asking you, are you paying attention to what you're actually seeing?
Yeah.
But because
You're
there's
gonna go want to watch it twice. You're gonna go want to watch it twice. I
possibly
guarantee you.
all depending on how your mind works.
And I guess how you take the ending, because that's really what it really how the ending is for you. That last 7 minutes.
And the funny thing about it is the last 7 minutes, you know what, never mind. I'll leave
Yeah,
that
that's
for if
yeah,
we go live and
yeah.
have
We,
that
we'll
conversation,
we'll
because you
we'll
already
probably do
know.
a members only on Monday night or something. We'll probably do it, and
Well,
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see. We'll
I
see.
I want to
Drop
do it.
down
I
in the
think that would be
comments
dope.
and let us know if you be interested in participating in that kind of conversation. And if we have enough people, if we have at least 25 people that want to do that, then maybe we'll make up our mind on that. Let's not put it out there and say this is what we're going to do, because who
Yeah, yeah,
knows?
yeah. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. True. Well, we just do it over on Patreon if we go do it. I think that'll be the best bet. Anyway, anyway. All right. Next topic.
She definitely, for her performance in that, she
She
definitely should be a front runner. Emma
she should
Stone
get it.
should be a front
She
runner
should get it. I don't like.
for Oscar.
I ain't gonna lie. As far as like actresses, I really don't even like who would I. Of course, Angela Bassett is like stop. Got to give it up to Angela Bassett. She's great. Um,
I mean, I like Angela Bassett, but I would say that Viola Davis is a better actress.
yeah, yeah. I'm friends with her stunt double, Viola Davis's stunt double. The lady Kismet. Yeah, I gotta introduce you to her. She good people. I'm friends with her. And Viola is really cool. I heard she's really cool, and yeah, props to her. Denzel's like my favorite, of course, overall. But I'm gonna give it up to like I was given like okay, Margot Robbie, but because of that, and I like Brad Pitt, of course. Brad Pitt is fucking and George Clooney, right? Phenomenal. I was saying Margot Robbie because of what was that one movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Was that it? Yeah, I think that was her. There's a lot of like Illuminati stuff they were putting in that movie. I was like, oh no, what's it called? Oh no, it was called Babylon. That was the one? It was called
Once Upon
Babylon.
a Time in Hollywood was
That was
loosely
Brad Pitt. That was a
centered.
good one.
No, but it was loosely centered around. It was
Manson.
Brad Pitt and
It was Lucy around Manson.
well, yeah, and Roman Polanski and Sharon Tate.
That yeah, that's what I. But the one, no, Babylon is the one where I was like, okay, Margot Robbie. But see, I don't, just like that Sydney Sweeney movie kind of just like flopped because they were trying to force that whole, American, all American girl motif. And sometimes they'll put that in your face, but sometimes these people are not really good actors. So Margot Robbie, though, I thought she was good, but then I'm like, oh, maybe they're just trying to force this actress down our throat type of deal.
Margot, she's interesting. I enjoy her when she gets into her role. She does her thing, but there's also a dead zone there.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know, if you ask me, I don't think actors are what they used to be.
No, hell no.
I don't think
Just
actors
like
are what they used to be.
just like analog and digital. Like I was talking about albums back day. You get an album and just the sound of it will fuck you up. But now you listen, I'm cool. Actors are the same way nowadays.
Yeah. She
Um,
played Tanya Harding. Well, I never watched that. The funny thing about it is there's a lot of stuff that I can honestly say I'm not paying attention to a lot of movies. I'm not
yeah,
paying attention to a lot of music. I
yeah.
don't really watch normal regular TV. I don't.
And you're doing yourself a service by not indulging in like I hate to say it, but I have to indulge in the nightly news, and it's like that damn depression. Because if you look at the news, if you like, I've been looking at the news since I was like 4 or 5 years old because I was living with old people, and these old people look at news and heard the news and I was just like, yeah, that's why I'm like that. And I don't, you know, and I was always like, I don't want to look at this news. Like, I want to watch cartoons, you know,
My dad always had the news on.
the paper.
You remind me of that. Like, no, because when I would go to sleep at night, I would hear the news on. As a kid, my dad had the news on. I knew what time it was. If I was having a hard time falling asleep and if I was sneaking in, reading books under my covers or whatever, I knew exactly what time it was because it would go from the regular news to night, what was it,
Hmm.
Nightline and all of that
Hmm.
stuff. So, you know, it was
Hmm.
always playing. That was my dad. My dad always had the news on. So, yeah, no,
Yeah, you're not missing out on nothing when because it's designed to keep you at a low vibration.
well, that's what I'm trying to say
Yeah,
when
I
it
know.
comes to a lot of the stuff that
I
we're
know.
doing. Everything that they're doing is to program you into that lower vibration, to program you to be, you know what I mean, in that depressed
Yep. Yep.
state to keep you there. And I just started pulling away from a lot for me. I know like I I I don't know what it is, but I just feel the need to protect my mind. Like I can't
Yeah. Yeah.
listen. Like it's wild. The more I don't listen to music, I don't listen to the radio. Like I can tell you that right now. I don't listen to the radio. I don't. You couldn't get me to listen to the radio. They're playing the same group of songs over and
It's a
over.
program too. It's a program there too.
And what it does is it keeps your energy at a certain level. And we were talking about this when we were live yesterday on my Instagram page, just talking about how they've turned these frequencies into poison
Yeah.
for us. A lot of the stuff that we're listening to, a lot of the stuff that we're digesting is making us sick.
Yeah.
It's making us sick, whether or not people
Yeah.
want to, you know, if you're vibrating at a certain vibration, it's going to create a certain agitation in your system. And anything that constantly and consistently agitates your system will make your system break down.
Get the tuning fork 528 because this is the yeah. You got to hit this. Not hit the blunt. Hit this.
You got rid of your TV. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. And now it was just on the news the other day that they have cyber hackers that know how to hack in to your smart TV and they're surveillancing people in their homes. Has
Yeah,
anyone else
because
thought about that?
I see. I'm glad you said that. They're not
The
talking about
cyber,
that.
yeah, the cyber, that other things that they're not talking about. But yeah, there's a cyber hacking team that apparently were able to find the proper code to be able to break into your smart television. And this means that there's a stranger out there that's able to look at how you operate, look at how you're functioning, know everything that's going on. That means you can be robbed. You can have all of this stuff going on. Like
We'll see
you
y'all
can
if
be spirited away from your home. Like there's a lot of stuff that's going on.
If you have a modem, meaning anything that brings in the internet, the modems are not like how they used to be. They're different. They come with a setting like this in. And that log in and I mean the password will be something different. You got to always go in there and change the admin for your modem. You got to change the admin for your TV, because then that's how a lot of people are probably getting hacked. It's like, oh, they don't choose to change the admin side of the modem or your TV, and you're getting jacked. But the killer part is this though: people our age and maybe a little older, uh yeah, they're all on the TVs, but the kids nowadays, like my kids, they no TV for them. Give them a tablet or give them their phone. They don't need no TV. So it's almost like old people, and no offense, I'm talking about the boomers, they need landline phones, but those are gone. Those are pretty much gone now. You get what I'm saying? Most boomers needed a landline phone. They were all. It's like, you once you're used to it, a technology, you expect it to be there. I think a lot of people were expecting to have the payphone at the corner, and I'm gonna keep my beeper as long as I can and sell my dope that way, right? So like, so now
The
all
stuff
you
that
you
you
don't.
think of.
I'm just but what I'm saying though is certain groups and certain people are used to a certain technology. The kids are not. They don't. 20-year-olds, 19-year-old, 18-year-old, no TV. They don't even know TV for the most part. You know, But if you get rid of your TV, more power to you, because there ain't nothing on TV. And that's why they embedded all these apps on the TV now. Yeah.
People use apps more than they watch actual television anymore. I mean, the
Yeah.
truth is everything becomes obsolete and everything moves on. And we've been here for a little bit of time. So could you guys do me a favor and just hit that like button? We could
Hit
use
the like
like
button.
we could use at least 200 more likes, at least. But no, long and short of it, it's I think that we tend to not realize exactly how much we become dependent on technology, and you'd be surprised how many people are depending on the information and how they move around in life and in the world from online. And when you look at the fact that even people like Elon Musk are saying that most of the internet isn't even real, like over
Yeah.
50% of the internet is all bots, it's not real.
Yep. Yep.
So a lot of us are engaging with not real entities. We're dealing with whatever's being programmed from this bot farm, that bot farm. It's so funny because when I look at just the level of information that's being moved around and the rate that it's being moved around at right now, and what we're taking into consideration. Like I said, there's a very credible content creator that was talking about fake news as if it was real news, and that's because it was heard so many places that no one ever considered that it might not be. And it's funny because the second that I heard it, I noticed something. It affected me. People don't get it. They put something out there, doesn't have to be real, but you're going to be affected by it. Changes your mood, changes how you're thinking. And I had to remind myself, hold up, let me wait and see. Did anything come from the actual source? Guess what? Go back and listen to the actual source. Totally something completely different. You know, so here we are. And then they know how to kick up certain stories to keep you from paying attention to the evolution of another
Mm-hmm.
story. So here we are. And I find it very interesting because I'll never forget when I first heard about it. Somebody was talking about a particular case, and I wasn't saying anything about it. And so I don't know. Let's just rip it. Let's just get there. 5 years ago, I came in contact with a woman named Jennifer Huff. Or 4 years ago. I remember hearing her story. And it's wild because there's so many comments. People really be in the comments. They be in the comments heavy. And it was wild because I watched that story. I watched what happened to that story. I watched the way that story was pushed all off about. And I'm not going to get into all the details of it. What I will say is go and look it up for yourself. What I can say is that I believed her, spoken to her. I understood her plight. And I prayed for her and I still pray for her. So fast forward to now, the Demore Hadley story comes about. Now, we knew it was going to get a lot of pushback. We knew it was going to catch a lot of hell because we already saw what was going on. We saw that they were ready to spin the disinformation on this story as quickly as possible. So anybody that can talk about it, anybody that will talk about it needs to talk about it. Now, a lot of people know there's a lot of content creators who do not get along on this app that sometimes talk about the same thing and are supporting the same thing, but for different reasons. What I'm going to tell y'all is this: I don't owe anybody any explanation about how I feel about one person or another. I don't. But for the sake of clarity, now I did a video and it's broken up into some pieces. And that's done for a reason because I want people to understand where I'm coming from. But the amount of lies that I'm seeing pop off already is letting me know I did the right thing. When I say that I support someone who's experiencing, maybe people don't understand what I'm really all about. I'm against misinformation. I'm against blatant lies. I'm against cyberbullying. And I'm for justice, even though justice very rarely can be obtained. I'm used to seeing justice denied. I'm used to seeing people be lied on. I'm used to seeing people not get their due. I'm used to seeing people be moved around. That's why I do this. I don't do this because it's great for me. I don't do this because I enjoy the attention. I don't do this because I'm getting rich off of it. I do this because there are very few people that have the audacity or the bravery to stand up for the truth. Jennifer Huff is a victim of someone who was who pled guilty and is on the SA registry. Now I talked about it before. And we're not going to get into a whole bunch of detail about it because I'm not trying to make it all, crazy, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, no need. But you said what you had to say about it already.
But for me to know that she's swinging again, and for me to know everything that happened to her, I've been silent about it all because I didn't want to compromise supporting something else or someone else. But let's be very clear when it comes to being a whistleblower, when it comes to speaking out against the powers that be, there are certain things that come along with it inherently. I've never known a whistleblower that didn't take a hit financially. I've never known one, not one. Want to know why? Because when you start blowing the whistle, the first thing that they do is come for your money. They go out of their way to make you as poor as they possibly can. All kinds of wild things. You know what else they do? They come after your voice. They come after your platforms or your channels or whatever you have. You know what else they do? They attack everyone in your life. Everyone. They want to make sure you ain't got nobody. They want to make sure you feel alone. And then once they run everybody off, they put people in your life to gaslight you, to try to confuse you, to try to convince you. And then when they think that they've got some form of control, that's when they start working on their plan to either make you look crazy, make you look criminal, or make you sick. And then they just lean. They lean. That's why, for those who are brave enough to come out and to speak out front, to a certain extent, with people knowing and with people seeing, it makes them back up some because, of course, these people don't want to make it look like they just have the ability to come and just destroy anybody's life whenever they want. They want to make things seem like they're slightly fair. They don't run at you so hard. They find covert ways of doing it. Trust me, I know because it's happened to me. When I hear people say she's a liar, she doesn't know anything, this never happened to her, that's crazy, she exaggerated. First things first, let's be very clear. I knew last fall that the plan for the elites was going to be to try to convince the world that there was no corruption amongst all of the elites. They were going to try to put it all off on Diddy. Odell and I both have spoken to someone. The press release went out. I was never at the parties. I don't know what happened. I was never at the party. See, that's where the spin story began. But then when they started realizing that too many people had talked about the parties, too many people had talked about what was going on, too many people had said it, the only thing to do was acknowledge that they happened, but quarantine it, right? Because if Diddy was the only one doing it, and if it was all Diddy and it was nobody but Diddy, then that means that the rest of the industry is okay. And look, they all just celebrated surviving at Jeff Bezos' house for Kris Jenner's birthday party. A lot of monumental things really.
Okay, what happened? You all right? What happened? All right, let's just see. Hold up.
Oh, there it is.
What
Somebody must be
happened?
trying to mass report this video.
I mean, I was fine. We were still fine. What happened?
No, somebody said I just disappeared. You
Yeah,
bad.
because you did something.
I didn't do
I
anything.
was here. What happened?
I didn't do anything. My hands were nowhere
No,
near.
you pressed something.
I didn't touch anything. Yeah, I said Jeff Bezos' name and the elites, and boom. I wonder why. Here we go. It said, wow, she disappeared. You know what? I'll wait for everybody to be able to come back. Put a one in the chat.
We're back. You had 500 people. Now you got 600. You're good.
Okay. So here we are. What do you do? What do you do when you support the truth? When everyone else is trying to maintain a lie? Do you bow down? Do you fall back? Do you negotiate? Do you play games? Or do you stand tall? Now, for me, I get really frustrated with a lot of these people who like to call themselves speaking out against the machine, speaking out against this, that, and the third or the other. But I'm watching what's happening and I'm seeing what's going on. You know, when people first started saying that they were about to that it's looking like they're going after Nicki Minaj to have her labeled as schizophrenic, and then someone said that she was just declared schizophrenic. Has anyone else heard that but me? Put a two in the chat if anyone's heard reports of Nicki Minaj of being diagnosed with or being declared schizophrenic. Put a two in the chat if anyone else has heard that other than me.
I heard it.
You haven't, Auntie Leah? Has anyone else but us? Okay, someone said no. Okay, there is a two in the chat. Okay, there's another no. There's a two in the chat. No, two, no, no, no. Oh, my audio is different now. Yam J is put in two. So it's about half and half, maybe a little more than that. Audio's lagging in the chat. Audio's fine. You sound crisp. Okay. Yes, they're listening. They're always listening. And we're not going to be here long today. We're going to be leaving in a couple of minutes. We just wanted to make sure that everybody's paying attention to. There's a lot of things that are going on right now that nobody's talking about, that nobody's paying attention to. When I say things and when I do things, I do them for a reason. And there are times when I get frustrated. I do. I'm frustrated with every entertainer that I know knows more than what they're saying. I'm frustrated with every entertainer that's putting the rest of the public in harm's way because they're not doing more. I mean, the truth is, there's a lot of people I could have a lot to say about, but when I'm watching how they're using Nicki Minaj to confuse the public, to because they're using her just the way they were using me. In all honesty, what I have to say really, it's not really just about her. It's about the machine and way the machine works. Somebody said that I'm jealous. Trust me, I'm not. There's nothing for me to be jealous of. And the only people that would say that are people that are materialistic, people that are worried about money. That's not me. I'm not interested in getting online to do fashion shows. You're not seeing me here with a ton of makeup on. I'm not interested in any of those things. That's not my life. Yeah, there's a lot of little fires going on right now.
But you'll see me promote some liquor. Just y'all wait. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
What are you doing?
You about to I had to get my popcorn because I'm like,
Understand this. When I decided to go this way in my life, I decided to leave all of that behind because I knew that they will use it against me. I knew that they will use it to hurt me. Now, the lawsuit that you were talking about earlier today regarding Nicki Minaj, that was a plot by her enemies to make her look like she was financially vulnerable. And
Mm-hmm.
God, because the truth is, regardless of what happened in that lawsuit, she's worth too much money for $500,000 to be enough to bankrupt her and make her lose her house. Let's just be clear about that. It's a multi-million dollar home, even with um the equity that's in the house, regardless of the mortgage, what may be owed, what may not be owed. Whatever she has in liquid equity in that house is so much more than the $500,000 that's owed. All of that
Mm-hmm.
is done to make it look like she's financially vulnerable. Now there was a lot of people that was coming by that was asking me to have something to say about the so-called epic Twitter battle between Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. I had nothing to say about it. But what I also found interesting was that I saw a comment earlier today of somebody saying that I give Cardi all the grace in the world, but I'm talking crazy about Nicki Minaj. That's a lie. So I just wanted to address that here with this audience, with my people. Put a three in the chat if I extend Cardi B grace. Put a four in the chat if I done ran down on that bird on multiple occasions. Three in the
Yeah, you did.
chat if I show Cardi B grace. Four in the chat if I run down on that hoe for all of her craziness every chance that I've chosen to take. Matter of fact, I've had a lot more harsh things to say about Cardi B than I've ever had about Onika.
Yeah, I had to look. I'm like, exactly 2 months ago, about 7 weeks ago, you did a video about Cardi B.
Sure
Wasn't
did.
favorable. Wasn't favorable at all.
Wasn't favorable.
Not at all. You were not
I did
propping
everything
her up.
before. I did everything but pour gasoline on the situation. What I do is I talk about the things that are relevant and how it's hurting the overall landscape of people. And the truth is, I'm frustrated because Nicki Minaj's name has been used to distract the public. They went from using me as a distraction to using her as a distraction. And because of all of her followership and because of her exorbitant fame, they're using her to distract the public away from the things that they don't want them to pay attention to. Not only that, that fight between her and Cardi B was at a very interesting time because that fight kicked off when they were busy trying to cover up what was going on in court with the Damore Hadley case. Now, it was nice. It's nice when someone says, go and check the docket. That's great. But they're using you to distract people away from what's going on as well. So you got to hold yourself accountable for what you're allowing yourself to become a farce or a party to. That entire foolishness. That was everywhere for how long? And it went crazy disrespectful. But you want to know the stuff that I paid attention to that happened in all of that don't nobody else seem to want to pay attention to? Do you want to know what that fight showed me between Cardi B and Nicki Minaj? Is how vulnerable her actual life really is. See, that's what I was looking at. I wasn't looking at who was calling whose kid what and who had more stuff. Like honestly, that should have been a moment where everybody should have been like, "Whoa, I don't want nothing to do with this." Like these are grown women sitting around talking about each other's children. No, nobody is really. Let's be clear on that. People were calling people's kids, and see, for me, part of the reason why I didn't say anything about it is because I would have spoken harshly, because I remember people talking about my kids crazy online. Now I might say a lot of stuff, I might say a lot of things that seem a lot of edgy, but you ain't gonna hear me going back and forth shaming no children. But when it got to the point where Cardi B started talking about Nicki's son and very, very real things about him, everybody was sitting there talking about. Meanwhile, Cardi's sitting there talking about, oh my God, y'all, the Barb's messed up my brand deals. The Barb's messed up my brand deals. They should have.
Mm.
They should have. Because it doesn't matter if a child is special needs. That's not an opportunity for you to disgrace somebody. Now, I want people to understand this. At no point in time did anybody say that Cardi B wasn't accurate about whether or not Nicki Minaj's son is nonverbal or how he walks around his house and stuff like that. Nope. There was never a statement saying that that wasn't true. So what that lets me know is that Nicki Minaj has a whole lot of disloyal people around her. A whole lot. She has a whole lot of disloyal people around her that are in her home, around her child. Now, let's be very clear about this. Her husband is supposed to be the head of her security. That's what she pays him for. Is he doing a good job? If you're able to get people in your house you're allowing people around that are stealing money. Let's be very clear. I do not bang with Mr. Petty at all. I do believe that he did everything that Jennifer Huff said he did to her. I saw the documents, I saw the paperwork, and in the midst of all of that, I, I've been nothing but respectful. Out of respect of the story, for the story that the both of us are supporting. Not because I'm a fan, not because I'm looking for partnership. At no point in time has anybody heard me say that I'm trying to build an alliance with anybody in the industry. And let's be very clear, Onika is still very much in the industry. She's still very much taking money from these people. And guess what? When you take money from them, they have control over you. Over you. The truth is, everything that I've had to say and everything that's about to come out in those videos is for her benefit. It's for her benefit. Are we not watching what's happening with Wendy Williams right now? Are we not watching what's happening with Wendy Williams right now? No, Nikki wasn't invited to Kris Jenner's party. I'm saying everything I'm saying for a reason.
Y'all got to pay attention for real.
Anybody who was not invited to that party is in trouble.
And when you said it was at Jeff Bezos' house, not to cut you, when you said, "Oh, it's at Jeff Bezos' house," remember I told you I was talking about the AWS. If y'all don't know, Amazon has like all these servers, and I said I'm actually gonna. So, not to plug my, I got a series, Receipts and Narratives, talk about Jaguar Wright and this whole case that's going on with her. But I'm just talking about the entertainment industry and how it's moving on. No more Diddy. So you got all these entertainers holding a party at Jeff Bezos' house. Hmm. Pay attention.
Are people not paying attention to the fact that less than 2 weeks ago, there was a complete outage on Amazon? People's Chime accounts were wiped out, money stolen, irreplaceable. This is Jeff Bezos we're talking about.
Hence why I said go watch Bugonia, but I'm
I don't think people understand why I do the things that I do. When I make a move that people don't understand, I'm making it for a reason.
trust me, y'all. Facts.
I'm
Trust me.
saying it for a reason. See, my voice is very big, it's very loud, it gets a lot of people's attention. You want to know the funny thing about it?
Somebody said Mariah was there. Ooh,
Yeah,
damn.
Mariah was there.
Wow. I gotta get the list. I'm saddened to
The
hear
walking wax figure.
the walking mannequin. I'm very disappointed at the people who were there. Like I was just like, oh man. But yeah, passing of the torch, y'all. Y'all know what it is. But y'all gotta understand there's this technology entertainment thing. Yeah. Yeah. But back to what you were saying about Wendy Williams.
Understand this. The dementia that Wendy Williams was diagnosed with, I do not believe it's reversible.
It can't be. It couldn't be.
Damage to the pretemporal lobe on that level. And understand this, my father had dementia. My father had progressive dementia. There is no turning back. When you are on the dementia train, now
Now,
certain symptoms can be reversible, but not the actual dementia.
I don't want to kick the chair, but maybe it wasn't that. Maybe it was a combination. I'm just saying, maybe it was like, a lot of drugs and
Understand this.
alcohol.
Understand this. A lot of people have talked about Wendy's substance abuse and her issues and whatever the case may be. I mean, even her, she said it herself that she had done, the powder. She had said it herself that she was drinking. She said all of these things herself. That's not dementia. That's not dementia. Those are the effects. Now, can it cause brain damage if you overdo some of those things? Yes, it can cause brain damage. But even still, a doctor would be able to see that that's not dementia. She has had multiple examinations where she was being declared as dementia from the doctors that she went to through her conservatorship.
Mm.
But now she's got the new lawyer, and the new lawyer is finding other doctors. Kind of like what happened with me. When I was in the jail, they had me talk to a doctor for 5 minutes, and he said that I was unfit to stand trial. I make bail. I sit down with another doctor for 45 minutes, and he tells me I'm perfectly sane and able to aid and help in my defense, meaning I was fit to stand trial. It's funny. And guess what? Even after I made that evaluation public for the public to hear, there were still people sitting online lying, saying that I was unfit to stand trial. Like they were still saying it, regardless. I don't think people understand what's going on here. But me calling certain things out in a certain way, it forces people to listen. Now, let's be clear about this. And I'm going to say this very clearly. If they can find a way to make her nuts and move her around, then what? Look at what's going on with Kanye. Now, all of a sudden, he's back on his medicine and he's sorry for everything that he said. Well, almost everything. Well, he's sorry for this for now, but who knows what he'll get around to. Like, I don't think people are paying attention, which is why my message is very clear. You need to give it all up.
Yeah.
You need to tell the whole truth for your safety. Maybe people don't like the way it comes out. Somebody was in the comments saying, I gotta make sure that I don't talk like Jag because it comes off as being crazy. How is being impassioned about something crazy? But more importantly than anything, what makes you think that what I'm doing ain't for a reason? If I've chosen to not say anything regarding any of these things for all of this time, there must be a reason why I'm saying it now. Thank you, Carla.
Thanks, Carla.
Like, I don't think people get me. I don't think people understand me at all. And once again, I don't do a lot of explaining myself. Yeah, I'm sick and tired of people calling me crazy too, because I go around this app all day, every day, and I can show you a gang of crazy people that people watch and listen to, have viral videos, have all kinds of subscribers and all kinds of super chats, and people making all kinds of money, and they're out of their damn minds. And I would appreciate if we could get at least another 60 likes. But what I will say is this. I'm glad we're putting those videos up. I'm glad that I did what I did because you know what? Maybe people will start paying attention to what's going on. You could say whatever you want to say, but people need to start paying attention because, in my opinion, she's being lined up and she's going to need to give up the goods to protect herself. She was not at that party. Part of the reason why I also decided to come out and say the things that I've said is also because I think people think that I'm worried about having celebrity connections and celebrity ties and celebrity friends. I'm not. That's not my
I
life.
think those are I think those are the worst friends that you can have. How about that? I know.
Exactly. Wait a minute. Kamisha says, you are exactly right. Those old clips of Nikki claiming she's inhabited by Roman all
Uh,
can easily be used against her. You're telling the truth, Jack. Like, I don't think people get it. And knowing the origin of who Roman Polanski is, and then your husband's on the registry. It's not good. It's not good. They'll take everything and they will use it against you. They'll take everything and they'll paint it and frame it to be able to set you aside, to put you aside. Yeah. See, that's the thing about me. Because, see, if I had came online and said those things, like, oh, this is what's happening. Like, I can't have the conversation that I have about Britney Spears the same way as I would about Onika. I can't. But they're lining her up. They are lining her up. So I yell a little bit. So I get upset a little bit. Now I'm explaining why. How about that? I don't do a lot of explaining myself for a lot of things. But I'm telling you right now, they lining her up. And I don't think she can trust any of the people around her. I don't. There has been too much infiltration into her personal business that's been leaked online this year. Her own private security team being ran by her husband. There's no way in the world. There's no way in the world. The second that I heard Cardi B talking about her child that way, and there was no denial, there was no video to show different, nothing. There's way too much going on there. I don't like a husband. I've never liked a husband. I'm never going to change my position on that. I don't care who has anything to say about it or who feels anything about it. I don't trust that situation at all. I never did. I do believe Jennifer Huff. I do. And I also know how women get about their men. And I also know that men have the ability to lie to women. I just, exactly how she knew that. It was very obvious. But then again, Cardi B seems to know a lot of things about a lot of people because she started, when that album was out there flailing and flopping, she was getting in Lil Uzi, the little Lucifer boy and JT business too. It's almost as if she decided she was going to tee off on all of the people she's been spying on for content, hoping that it would push the album. Isn't that interesting? Why is nobody talking about or putting two and two together that she was sitting there talking about she was going to go to Rock Nation and tell on little the boy, the little Lucifer boy, she was going to tell on him, and now all of a sudden there's this lawsuit out here with this assistant. Cardi B was hinting at that a couple of months ago about what she was going to tell. I would rather the Cash Apps because YouTube is funny.
Gret, we appreciate you. We know you're not black, but we love you, and yeah, just cash app her. And yeah, appreciate you rocking.
And
He be
understand
buying the
this.
merch and stuff, so appreciate you.
And understand this. We got friends of all colors and all creeds.
Don't matter as
We
long as you
do.
stand with the truth. As long as you
The
about the truth,
truth
as long as you
is,
about bringing justice.
that's really what matters. But I'm gonna tell you something right now. If the Barb's want to have an issue, you can have an issue. I've already been attacked by the Barbs. I've already had the Barbs say that they was gonna have me unalived a couple years back. Let's talk about all of the terrible things that the Barbs have said about me. I've had the Barbs make fun of my deceased son. I actually had a Barb once say that they were going to go to the cemetery and dig my deceased son up and violate his corpse. A Barb, or at least somebody that identified themselves as one. I'll never forget there was a particular post that came up, and I told him, I was like, well, have fun at it, because my son was cremated. He's not at you. Whatever you dig up, it won't be him. But enjoy being arrested for violating, graveyard. Like, let's just be honest. And I'm not saying that all of the Barbs are that way. I'm not. But there's a good number of very mentally not well people that represent themselves as her fans. I've already contended, and I told them all, you don't want it with me. Back up. I'll never forget when they actually said that if Nikki ever got convicted of rape, that they would all come together and fight to have the laws changed to make it legal. That was actually said by her fans, or at least some of them. I'm not going to put it on all of them. Now, for the Barbs who shared content here, we appreciate you. We do. Thank you for helping get the word out about Demore's story. Because for me, that's what it was all about. It wasn't about building synergy with a female rapper. I'm good. I'm too old to be worried about being friends with any of these young kids. I'm not interested in that. What I am interested in is truth. And no different than Jennifer Huff, I believe Demore and Javon. I've seen the evidence, no different than Jennifer Huff. See, that's the thing. I've seen Demore and Javon's evidence. I've seen Jennifer's evidence too. What there was somebody else that got into one of the comments earlier and said, what did they say? That Jennifer deserved everything that happened
Yeah,
to her.
yeah, that was uncalled for. That was very uncalled for.
She deserved everything that happened to her, and then had the audacity to lie and say that Jennifer, what, she did all of this, she brought all of this up. That's not true. That's not true at all. That's not what happened. And I know it's not what happened because I was there. And see, this is the thing. I wasn't speaking about any of this. But since y'all gonna get in my comments and put it out there publicly, you're kind of forcing me to have to respond to it a little bit. Because what you're not gonna do is get in my comments. You're not gonna get in my comments and lie on an innocent survivor. I wouldn't let anyone do that to Demore and Javon, and I'm not gonna let anyone do that to Jennifer either. I'll never forget the day that I talked to her and she told me how some of the Barbs had threatened to essay her 6-year-old daughter. Her daughter was 6 years old at the time. She should be about 10 or 11 now. You want to know what's really funny? When I finally first heard, before we were forced to break contact with Demore because of the gag order and to protect her in the lawsuit, because I don't reach out to her, I don't talk to her. She's already been held in contempt. See, I'm actually interested in helping preserve people's cases. I don't want to hurt anyone, not anyone that's seeking justice. But I'll never forget the day that she told me that. That people called her up announcing that they were Barb's and that they were going to essay her 6-year-old daughter.
Yeah, the quiet one. That's where you file them charges. Yep.
Trust me, she went through a lot. She went through a lot, and it cost her her marriage. It's too much pressure. It's too much pressure. Just like Nikki was swatted, guess what? So was I. So was Jen. This is the thing. And I wish that it was something that just was common sense and common knowledge. But there are a great many people that are oppressed, that are put upon, whose lives are turned upside down for standing up for what they believe in. We should all respect each other. You know, I didn't have to have anything to say the day that Ticket TV decided to start running down on Natanya Rubin. I didn't have to have anything to say about that at all. He wasn't doing it to me, he was doing it to her. But she's a survivor. She's my friend. And I called it out for what it was. What are you doing? She just, why are you doing this to her? This is who I am. I call things out for what I see. But you know what? When it gets to the point where me being quiet makes me feel like I'm being a hypocrite, I can't do that. That I can't do. And the reason why I've chosen to say the things that I've said now, is because I felt like I was being a hypocrite. I can't do hypocrisy, not in any way, shape, or form. Now, let's be clear. Let me get a couple of things straight. Do I have malice, hatred, or even hard feelings or bad feelings for Nicki Minaj? No, I do not.
Yeah.
No, I do not. Matter of fact, I sympathize with everything that she's going through right now.
Yeah.
I do.
See
Because
the lineup from afar.
I'm watching them trying to prepare her for a straight jacket.
Yeah. We see the lineup.
And
Yeah.
considering everything that she did, coming forward and saying the things that she said, she needs to be paying attention to how they lined up Wendy Williams. She needs to be paying attention to that. She needs to. Now, I don't gotta like you. I don't gotta be your best friend. But when I see somebody being lined up the way she's being lined up, I gotta say something. And I gotta get people's attention. It's so funny for those who got into the comments talking about I'm jealous. I'm gonna put it to you this way. I remember when I was younger, And I had found myself in a tight spot, and I went to go see one of my aunts. She cussed me out. Oh, she was mad. She was angry. And to anybody from the outside who was listening, they might have thought that that woman really didn't like me. They might have thought that what's going on?
Let me. I don't want to. Do you want me to say it? Jonathan, hey, hit me. Send me something. Let me look. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
People might have thought that she had a real problem with me. And honestly, the way she was running down on me for a moment there, I was questioning whether or not my aunt gave a damn about me at all. And then I had to go and cool off. I stormed out and I had to go and cool off. And then I had to think about everything that she was telling me. She was putting me on game. She was calling things out that I was not paying attention to. She called me a couple big dumb bitches too, and this, that, and the third, and so on and so forth. Sure did. And then when I realized what she was saying to me, I realized she was right. And I later went back and I thanked her. And she came to me and she said to me, I'm sorry I spoke to you that way. She said, I just see what's going on. And it pissed me off. She was pissed because she knew that the situation that I was in, I was being taken advantage of. She knew that I was too distracted with other things that were going on in my life, that I wasn't paying attention to what was happening, what was coming for me. Now I'm not related to Nicki Minaj in any way, but I am an elder. I am older than her. I am an elder black woman who's been dealing with some of the same people that I've been fighting against some of the same people she's fighting against. Am I making sense?
Oh yeah.
Am I making sense? See, everything that I've had to say or that I am saying currently right now regarding Nicki Minaj, this isn't about destroying her. This isn't about taking her down. Matter of fact, you didn't hear me talk about her negatively at all. I didn't say anything. I didn't talk about her negatively. I didn't talk about her sexual life. I didn't know none of that. I am an older woman from this industry who walked away from this industry to be able to protect my life, because the truth is as long as you involved with these people, as long as you're doing their tours, as long as you're taking their money, as long as you're doing all of those things, you're vulnerable. Is everybody not forgetting what happened to Angie Stone earlier this year and we still ain't got no answers? There's still no real investigation as to what happened. Are people not watching how they moving people around and lining people up? Are we not paying attention what they're doing to Britney Spears right now? No, you hear Odell. I don't know what that is. Was
My
that you?
computer.
Oh, I don't think y'all people get me. I don't think you get me at all. Just because I go off and just because I get upset and I speak loudly about somebody, that doesn't mean that what I'm saying is in hatred. The problem is why is that what y'all want to hear? People who stand up against this oppressive system stand the chance of being targeted by this system.
you can look at Kanye as an example. Now, hear me out, however way you want to look at it. And I just sent you something via, Messenger or whatever. Just check it out because I told you I'm doing a deeper dive on a lot of, you know, government ties to this and entertainment. So that's why I was mentioning my series that I got because I'm going to go deeper into that. But Kanye, he did say something and his following was double than what Nicki has, right? And what happened? He immediately got reprimanded.
Took all his
Now,
money.
moving deals, a lot, just all that. Y'all, if y'all ever see his documentary, he's talking about the fact that he cannot perform at big arenas because who runs the show there? Who run like it's heavy, it's freaking heavy. But he came back and said what he said.
Now he's
Why?
touring again.
He's got a
Wanna
tour. He
know,
got something in Mexico next month.
wanna know what's funny? He was just in Japan with Travis Scott, his fellow Kardashian baby daddy. I don't think nobody's paying attention to that. Or how 4 years ago, what happened on Kris Jenner's birthday party. Does anybody not remember? What happened November 2021 for Kris Jenner's birthday? Does anybody remember? I'll give you a hint. Astro World. 9 people were trampled unalive. That was Kris Jenner's birthday as well. Kylie was pregnant with Travis's baby. And now Travis and Kanye on the road in Japan doing shows while they're partying at Jeff Bezos' house for Kris Jenner's birthday. Travis Scott was supposed to have been blackballed behind all of that, and and it was Diddy that told everybody, "Oh, it's okay." You know what? 9 people passed away at his concert, just like 9 people passed away at Diddy's concert. Like, I don't think people
Mm,
are paying attention to what's going on. I don't think people are really paying attention. And that's why we come here, because we talk about the things that they don't talk about. Now, what I will say is this to any barbs who want to come and want to trash me and say whatever you want to say, we've been there, we done that. I'm really not worried about it. Not at all. I am not delusional. I am not crazy. I am not jealous. I have nothing to be jealous of. Shoot, if I want to get a quick bag right now, the only thing I would have to do is agree to do positive content for Israel. They lace me up real nice. There's plenty of content creators doing that right now. You know, it's funny to me that people think that this is what it's all about for me. Do yourselves a favor. How about y'all pay attention to the things that I'm actually saying? Don't be so caught up in the passion that I speak. You know, it's funny. I got a friend, her name is Megan McGlover, and people like to come at her and they like to talk a lot of crazy stuff about her too. She's a brilliant therapist. She's beyond educated and well trained. And you know what? Because she speaks with a strong voice, because she speaks out. And sometimes, if you look at some of her content, you would think she cussing the world out, but she's not. She's communicating. It's funny, there's some of you who go to church and your minister will be sitting there and he'll be reading from the Bible, and the next thing, do y'all call him
What is wrong
angry?
with you, nigga? What's
I'm
wrong with
just
you,
I'm just
niggas?
saying. Is the pastor crazy too? Is the pastor
I mean,
jealous? Is the
he's
pastor
passionate. He's not crazy. He's just passionate.
like? And I think that's the problem. I think people are so used to being sedated that they don't understand that that's what our voices are for. We're not meant to be monotoned characters. That's what computers are for. Human beings have inflection. There used to be a time where people were taught to speak up. Like if you were talking like this when we were a kid, our elders used to speak up.
Yeah,
Be heard.
for real. For real.
What happened to that? What happened to that? What I will say is this. That was just the one part. That was just the one video. There's more.
Two more coming. Just got two more coming
Maybe you should listen to what I have to say. I got a
in its
feeling
entirety.
in its entirety.
Got to listen to it in its entirety. You got to.
But when you see things clearly, not from an emotional space, when you see things clearly, when you hear the things that's being said, ain't nobody run down on her. Not for real, for real.
No.
I go heavy on people. There's a message to it. But you gotta listen. The thing is this. The way I said it is gonna get more attention than me saying it like this.
Exactly.
There's a
And
method
and
to what I do.
and Nikki is not a dummy. I believe she's very intelligent. And she's going she are I don't even think she's gonna take offense to yeah.
Let's not
I
speak for
yeah.
her. Let's not speak
I
for
know
her.
I'm just saying what I think simply because well, I don't know her like that, but I'm just saying I think
She can take all of the offense to it that she wants to take to it. Her and I both know very well that when she was sitting there questioning Soldier Boy about whether he knew about anything in down low culture, her and I both, in my opinion, I don't think she was asking because she was looking for an answer. I do believe that she already had the answer to her question. She was just being cheeky. Like if
let me
you don't,
know.
huh?
No, I was gonna say, let me know. What you got a tomato? Oh, oh fruit. Okay, yeah, the watermelon. The watermelon's pretty decent. It ain't in season though. You can get some new ones. But
It's
no, when you're
hmm?
ready to, because that would have been a good point for me to pivot. But
No good.
no, because I want you to the download stuff in the industry. I wanted to say something about that, but no, continue, and then let's go back to that.
Listen to me. We can talk about all of the money that these people are making. If you think they get to keep it, if you think it all belongs to them, it doesn't. I wish people would go back to a few years back when Rihanna went bankrupt while she was on tour and really look into it. It was right before the Fenty deal happened. Maybe people should look into that. Maybe people don't really, I don't think people really be paying attention to what's going on. These women are being used, most of
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
They're being
and it's
used.
not it's not for it's like that's why I mentioned that the other night. I said I saw DJ Silky D. Shout out to DJ Silky D. And I was just talking about how she and I had a conversation in general back day, and just talk about how it's a all boys network within the West Coast side, entertainment industry, music side,
Mhm.
and yeah, they will prop up, put a woman in place or whatever. But a lot of time, like y'all got to understand game. Y'all got to
They're
understand how the
using.
laundering game works. It's it. Come on, man.
There's a lot of stuff going on. Those charities ain't also very charitable either. There's a lot of stuff going on. But what I will say is this: if I'm telling somebody to speak up and speak up for yourself, it's for a reason. Because essentially, that's really all I'm saying. You need to speak up. Y'all want to get in your feelings about it, then get in your feelings about it. I ain't fitting a trip. I'm not. But don't come through my chat disparaging Jennifer Huff either, because she has nothing to do with that. I pray for her. I will never stop praying for her and her family. And she is in court negotiating her case against Kenneth Petty. And I pray she wins. And just to get things clear, she didn't bring up nothing. She was minding her business. It was the Barbs that found out who she was and started running down on her after they went and found out about Kenneth Petty being on the offender registry list. That's what
So
happened.
so you don't think she sanctioned the whole
Who, Nikki?
yeah
I know she didn't.
yeah.
She didn't know what her fans was up to. She got married. She wasn't even publicizing her relationship or who he was like that. It was the fans that went and snooped and found out that it was the Barbs that found out that he was on the registry.
You know, the so the public, well, he was, because he pretty much was a private citizen. So yeah, I get it.
He was a
Yeah,
private citizen.
yeah, yeah. Damn.
They did that. And then they went and found Jennifer. They made this public. And that's why I always felt bad for Jennifer, because she literally got sideswiped by fame. Whatever happened between the two of them happened when they were kids long ago. She had moved past that. It was over. She was done with it. It was over. But the second that you start getting threatened, the second that you start getting harassed on behalf of a celebrity, that's when it's gone too far.
So not only did she get new trauma, she got re-traumatized. Oh
Yeah.
man.
And the truth is, the person who's really responsible for it is Kenneth Petty, because what he should have did was just register in LA quietly. He should have just registered. That's what you have to do when you're on the registry. You have to register wherever you go. I'm not going to sit there and pretend, but they're going to use everything in her life against her to line her up. And I'm sorry, not sorry, it needed to be said. And do yourselves a favor. Y'all don't even have to listen to the video if you don't want. You don't have to pay attention to it. But it's out there. It's all going out there. Take it for what it will. I call it for what I see it as. But she's become the new distraction. Internet's using her. They got to move around when it comes to me now. They can't keep doing it the way they was doing it before. That's why they got all these AI videos of me now. They're using her. They're using her in the worst of ways. They made it a new distraction. And the reason why they're doing it is because she decided to stand up and speak out and support other people. Why is nobody talking about Tory Lane's appeal being denied? Like, there's a lot of
I
things
was
that
just about
nobody's
to
talking
say.
about right now.
Okay, I was out. Look, again, I wanted to pivot, but no, that's fine. That's what I was about to say. Let's get off of the that
I'm
topic.
done. I've said everything that I need to say about that.
His case, uh, his appeal that he filed against the well, I guess the situation that happened between him and Meg the Stallion.
Mm-hmm.
He found new evidence, and we reported on it when they presented the new evidence, and he went to his what was it, the hearing. They
Mm-hmm.
denied it. Yeah, they denied his appeal for a new trial, so he has to sit and do
His
the
time,
entire 10 years. Yeah,
which is crazy,
yeah, yeah,
which is crazy. But that's what they got going on. That's what's happening. And that's why I'm
yeah.
angry. And that's why I'm upset. Because I'm watching them shit all over people's rights like it don't even mean anything. That should make us angry. They found new evidence. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely pray for her. They're out to get her. You got a lot going on with your face. I think it's time that we close up.
No, we ain't got to close up. No, calm down. I'm paying attention to number one. I'm getting information. If you want, I can just say it, but then I'm
No,
looking at
I think we need
no.
to talk.
Okay, yeah, okay,
Or
all
do
right.
you, well, I don't see, I
I
don't know
can
what you
say
got.
it. No, no, no.
Maybe you
I can say it.
shouldn't.
It's fine. I mean, I could though, and I don't think it. I don't think you let me know. Well, it's involving TMZ. Number one,
What?
I'm sitting here looking at TMZ. Number one, they have all these little mini docs that they promote and they push onto freaking Tubi.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know I got man. I'm finna we come on. We got to do
I
our
know.
Tubi thing. Fuck it. So, but I just saw uh it says Scooter Braun passed on buying OnlyFans. I guess I saw that. That's a new article from TMZ, and then there's a documentary about OnlyFans with TMZ. I'm not trying to promote their ish, but it's on Tubi. And then I saw our good sister Angela White in like in the snippet of it. I was like, oh, that's why I was that. So I'm yeah, and then
Didn't she shut down her OnlyFans?
yeah. No, but she's I think she's in the documentary talking about. I'm not interested in looking at it like that, but I was just like in it. But this is what Jonathan texts me, Jonathan Hay. So shout out to Jonathan Hay. He texts me about something that just popped up on TMZ, and I said, "Oh, so Biggie's son filed a countersuit against him. If we want, we can talk about it." Biggie's son said, "Your disgusting smear campaign won't work against me."
In all honesty, that should be expected.
I I want to talk. I'm gonna talk. We will talk to Jonathan. I want to, yeah, because when you were mentioning the download stuff, I was just because that's when I like somebody was like, oh, I see that face you made. Yeah, it's because man, yeah, I think I want to talk to Jonathan Hay
I've
about
been
some
keeping
stuff.
this situation in prayer because we got a lot going on. There's a lot.
We already got a lot, but I think we'll talk to him, but I think well yeah, I just want to talk to him now because
I
it's just.
understand. You
But
know,
yeah,
it's so funny. People are so used to thinking that I just say everything that's on my mind and that I just share everything. But if people knew exactly how much I hold, they'd probably be shocked. But yeah, every now and then when I see stuff that's going on, it upsets me. And there's a lot of upsetting things that are happening right now. Pray for Tory Lanez. Yeah, and I think we all should pray for Nicki Minaj. We should. They lining her up. And I pray that her fans, I pray that the Barbs will stop being so worried about whether or not they think somebody is coming after her, and they should really start just staying focused on who actually is coming after her and the things that are actually really, really, really targeting her life. There's too many spies around her, too much stuff being leaked out to the public. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. So, well, it sounds like we got some stuff to talk about. We've been here for about 2.5 hours,
oh
so
yeah, you've been here for a minute. I was
I think it's
about to say,
time to go.
well, let me know. I think I'll just clip up that one, but I mean, well, you let me know what you want to do. But I definitely just clip up that one and then boom, and then yeah,
We'll see.
I already know that it's already you going this one. It's the metrics already look crazy on this one. I'm already knowing. I already know.
But save your threats. I've been threatened by a lot. But if you're going to judge me for what I'm actually saying and what I'm actually doing, not what you want it to mean. I give a shit in ways that most people don't. And on that note, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Have a wonderful Sabbath, and we'll see y'all soon. Peace be unto all of you. You a mess.